So this week, we wanted to showcase Indiana as not being flyover. So we wanted to do some dishes and try to do some interesting takes on some classic Indiana dishes, and foods that are associated with Indiana. Number one, obviously, both Indiana and Iowa. Corn, we got lots of it, and we love eating it. So I did an elote salad with Indiana sweet corn, and I don't know. I don't really know much to say about it.
People raved about it. People liked it. People were clapping at the very beginning. I'm like, oh wait, we got a lot of dishes to go. People were scoffing it down.
You wanted to bring down the claps.
Yeah, I was like, hey guys,
too much.
Calm down.
This is barely a course.
Yeah.
Do you ever cool the guests down if they're too excited? Like, hey guys, let's bring it down a notch.
I point out the inconsistency. I like to do that.
A little too much cilantro in this dish.
I'm like, corn's not really even good for your body. Let's just think about it.
And then Zach, you had
I did a pork tenderloin, but I made it into a eggs Benedict with, and then for my fancy part, I made a foam with the hollandaise, and then there was also smoking goose ham on that.
Oh yeah.
Is hollandaise foam a normal thing, or is that like kind of something you created?
That's something I made up.
Okay.
I wanted to make a foam on it somewhere, and so I turned the hollandaise into a foam.
Indiana foam.
There we go.
I feel like there's certain foods that are just like locked in since childhood that I'm always gonna I'll always tear up like a Dairy Queen M&M Blizzard. Like no matter what, like it literally makes me feel better. Like eating one, like that could pull me out of depression. Or jumpstart one. But I feel like the tenderloins are the same way. There's like something about eating a tenderloin where I'm just like, it just transports me back to childhood. And I thought it was a really good take. And all the components were really good on it.
Thank you.
Well, what was that? Was it just English muff?
Yeah, it was just English muff.
Okay.
They were buttermilk English muffs.
It was good.
Wait a second.
And then we did I guess you could make an argument that a beef Manhattan is more representative of a Manhattan than Indianapolis.
Man, I feel like you really lost the plot after
Yeah.
I mean, we took our items and we went back and I was waiting to see what you did, and you kind of did oops no Indiana.
Yeah.
Except for the corn.
I sent my dad a picture. He's like, what are you having today? I was like, oh, it's all Indiana based. And I sent him a picture of a beef Manhattan. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we're kind of
named for another city.
We're not doing too well.
Now look, if you Google Indiana foods, look, we it's easy to start off. It's like pork tenderloin, boom. Sugar cream pie, boom. And then it's like corn, and then it's like, I don't know, beef Manhattan, like chicken and noodles, I don't know.
Is that what ChatGTP said? Maybe that was a glitch.
Yeah. It's like
I feel like you would have gotten closer with chicken and noodles than something that had another city's name on it.
It was beef Indianapolis.
A beefy Irvington.
Yeah.
Beef Irvington.
And spoiler, I will say no apples. Johnny Appleseed is very Indiana, right?
I don't know.
Third one for the day.
Well, you know what that means. 3 boos and you gotta leave.
We're going to talk about this later off air, but y'all just messed up. I don't get free booze.
Yeah. And then what was your next? Oh, and then we had the... No, I think fried chicken is pretty much any state except for the coasts. I feel like every state except
That's
for
a really bold statement.
Except for Alaska, Hawaii, and any coastal cities, you can claim fried chicken. I feel like that's very anywhere in the South, anywhere in the Midwest, fried chicken is in play.
Puerto Rico.
And sometimes Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so we did it was a waffled fried chicken, or I guess technically beignet fried chicken.
Yeah.
And then it had a blackberry reduction with it. So I thought it could be divisive if you didn't like sweet meats.
It was amazing.
Probably not into it, but
now you douse that in powdered sugar too.
Oh yeah,
like a powdered sugar donut.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, fried food in sugar. What is more Indiana than that?
No, I'm with you. I'm not. This is me being serious.
I might pitch that for the state fair this year.
Yeah.
That might be like, look, this is what we're doing. All right, we're not frying any chocolates.
Donut fried chicken.
Donut fried chicken.
It was really good. Like, I mean, like it was the most creative dish I've seen in a long time. I also like thought about my health a lot when I was eating it. I was like, am I going to be okay? Because it was sweet chicken. Like even when you ate the chicken, it was very sweet.
That's how you know it's like Indiana food. If you're thinking about how many years of your life it's taking off, then you know it's good Indiana cuisine.
It felt like that time like movie with Justin Timberlake. I just like saw the countdown go really quick.
10 hours.
I just lost something.
Some good chicken. And then Zach, you had the dessert.
I did sugar cream pie. I did a deconstructed version. So I made a custard and like sprinkled like cinnamon on that. Had some ice cream in there, and then I cooked some wheat berries and some sugar water instead of the crust.
Where do you get the wheat berries from?
So sometimes you can find them at like a Meijer or something. Like Bob's Red Mill usually has a version of them, but I got those at the Good Earth and I think Broad Ripple.
Yeah,
they've got all sorts of crazy hippie shit.
I liked it with the ice cream. It was almost like a boba tea kind of thing going on. So yeah, that was our Indiana menu.
Hoosier, baby.
Hoosier menu. And I also think we were kind of joking around, but I also think the thing about Indiana cuisine is we're still adding to Indiana cuisine.
Yeah.
Like we are still like blazing the trail of what Indiana cuisine looks like, and I've seen the scene change so much in the past 10 years that it's like, you know, maybe that list will be more than 3 things that the state is known for food wise.
And I think it's important to point out it's the Germans that kind of shaped Indiana cuisine.
I mean, that's the tenderloin right there.
That's the tenderloin right there. When they were traveling, I heard they would go through the north and then they would just drop off a whole bunch of their food, and then we would like pick up their recipes. Isn't that kind of...
Where'd you hear that from?
You.
What's the biggest tenderloin you've ever had?
So it's funny we're talking about tenderloins because Iowa claims to have the biggest tenderloin.
Oh gosh.
Here we go, Thad.
And like, I don't know, that tenderloin right there is, that's about on par for an Iowa tenderloin. They give it to you on a plate that is a fraction of the size of the tenderloin.
It's offensive. I would say offensively big.
I've worked at some places in Indiana that do that.
Yeah.
That large or whatever.
It's like
but
a
not
pillow cushion of tenderloin.
Like it's for the whole family, right? Like one person's not eating that. That's one person?
I mean, depends on the person.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think tenderloin. You know what? Go ahead, Iowa. Have the biggest tenderloin. You have nothing to do there.
That's right.
This is from what I heard. But like, that's really they don't see it right now. That's bigger than 2 faces.
Yeah. How many ounces do you think that's hammered out to? Or what? How many ounces do you think that
start off with?
Yeah.
I have no idea. And hopefully it's paper thin. Like that's the only hope, right? That it's just so.
I don't understand where you get on the loin to get it that big. Even hammering it out. You know?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, those are probably loins put together.
Stitched together like a Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster.
A Frankenloin.
Yeah, Frankenloin.
Hope you guys like thread. Yeah, that's a big tenderloin. The biggest problem with tenderloin is the juicy, like the thickness. Yeah. Sometimes you can't bite, you have to pull. But like with your loins, like they're very soft. You have very soft loins.
Thank you. No, I was trying to pound him out in his lump.
What?
You know what? I'm done.
No, keep going.
You were pounding out the loins.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
I was trying to pound him out as thin as I could.
Of course you were.
I feel like I did a good job.
I'm eating brunch with my people though. Homie Dad just cooked up a feast and we about to eat.